welcome to our latest video here in our channel Kappa Marketing. Today we are going to do an SEO audit for our friends over in Vietnam at CoderPush. And we have already the website open here, and I'm really glad that some of the team at CoderPush are here as well. Tran, Mai, Hannah, and I think there was a fourth person, Van. And this will be an initial audit to get an idea where we are or where CoderPush is with the website. And as you can see, I have already some other websites open. We have AHREFs, which is a software made in Singapore, I believe. And this is a very famous SEO software, which can give us a little bit of insight regarding the visibility of CoderPush.com, keywords, referring domains, as you can see. I'm going to explain some of the metrics later on. Then we will also use Google Ads. And if you have ever logged into Google Ads, you can see the tools here on the left-hand side. And the most important thing is the keyword planner here. And I am also using Screaming Frog, which I'm going to show you again here. So Screaming Frog is another SEO tool which is free of charge up to 500 URLs, but this is the paid version. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in your whole website here and then just start the crawl. So what Screaming Frog is gonna do now, it's actually going to crawl your whole website, and then it will also give us an idea of how the website is structured. It can show us the page titles, meta descriptions. It can also show us the H1 and H2 headings. So for example, one thing here that I can already see from an SEO perspective, we have more occurrences than one. Ideally, in an ideal world in SEO, you have only one H1 heading. So we can have a look at the homepage, for example, and see where we can find the duplicate H1s. So you can see there's one H1 heading here, which is transforming ideas. And the next one is here. So this is something I could already take a note of. Maybe I'm actually going to open another document and share that with you. It's an SEO worksheet that I've been developing over the past years, and I'm going to actually use that as a framework. So SEO worksheet, what does that mean? It means that we are going to use that as a template to have a little bit of guidance regarding our audit. So first of all, I'm gonna make a copy that you can also use for your own reference. And this worksheet is something that is narrowed down. It is containing, as you can see, about 50 lines, 53 lines. And there are many more extended versions of it. I can show you one more just to give you an idea. There's an SEO from the US. Her name is Annie Cushing. And you can see how refined that is. She has a lot of different sheets here that will help you to analyze the technical aspects of our website especially, but not only. There's also content, keywords, analytics. So I'm gonna share this with you as well, just as a reference, just so that you get an idea of what is possible to analyze in SEO. And as you can see here, this sheet that we have refined over the past 15 years is basically pretty much trying to make it easier, right, to do this SEO work. So for example, if you look into line 5 here, I have written, this is a site check that we usually conduct. And in column C, you can see what we actually do here. Check index pages in Google. So a site check is the following thing. You just hop onto Google, let's say google.com. And then what I will do here is I'm going to type in site : CoderPush and enter. So why is this useful? It helps me to get an understanding of how Google is looking at CoderPush.com. So it's good that we have the homepage on top here, and we can see a lot of other things that are in the Google index. For example, your jobs subdomain. You also have a forum here. You have a lot of other things. And actually, apart from that, we have only maybe 10 more pages. So according to the site check, we have only more or less 20 documents in Google. Not sure if this is actually true. Could be. I would expect a little bit more, and we can try to match that with Screaming Frog and see how many pages we have according to Screaming Frog. So just gonna filter for the HTML pages. According to Screaming Frog, your website has about 64. So we can ask ourselves now, why is there 64 according to Screaming Frog? Maybe according to Google, there are only 20 pages, yeah. But I can see already here there are some 301 redirects, so could be that only half of them that we found here are actually relevant. So this is already something I can take a note of, right? I can write down site check shows that about 20 pages are indexed in Google. And then I can write something like, but Screaming Frog about 60 plus. This may be something we can look deeper into. It's just a status quo. So an SEO audit is just helping you to find out what is the status quo, where are we at with the website, what keywords do we have, do we have any interesting rankings, do we have anything obvious that needs to be improved. So let's go back to the homepage. It's always a good starting point to look at the homepage and to get an understanding of what this is all about. As an SEO, so I'm now the SEO, search engine optimizer. I look at the meta title is what you can see here in the browser, and you can of course look into the source code and look for the title. So this is your meta title, CoderPush pipe, empowering businesses with innovative technology solutions for growth and success. So this is a meta title which is not necessarily optimized for any keywords. So keywords would be search phrases that you want to rank for in order to get visitors from search engines that might become a client. Maybe we try to find some keywords here like staff augmentation. This could be something you want to rank for. Custom software development. We can also ask ChatGPT actually. Nowadays we have ChatGPT, right? I'll just open that as well, because this is another very important tool these days to find out what could be a potential SEO strategy. I can ask ChatGPT, for example, what could be potential keywords if I want to create a SEO campaign for CoderPush in Vietnam. Let's see how smart ChatGPT is. Software outsourcing, custom software development. I think that's pretty interesting because you have software development here, custom software development. And what ChatGPT does here is they also write Vietnam. So I don't know too much about your strategy at CoderPush, but I believe that, of course, you want to rank in Vietnam as well for those keywords, but your main target clients are probably abroad. They are probably overseas in US or here in Australia. But it would not hurt to rank for custom software development Vietnam. I assume that maybe the most important market would be the US. That's why I'm going to use Google Keyword Planner to do a research in the US. First of all, I'm going to change this to English, and I'm going to add USA as a location. I could also start with Vietnam, by the way, right? I could, for example, put in Vietnam here and try to find out how many people are actually looking in Vietnam for custom software development. That would be possible, but you can see already that the volume is pretty small, pretty low volume. Whereas if I change this to US, I'm pretty sure we have a lot more. And you can see we have 1,900 monthly searches, right? So this number here is giving us a rough estimation of how many people are searching for custom software development in the USA per month. So let's say 1,900 people are searching for this month. Per day, it would be roughly about 60 people searching for that in the US. And if you are on rank number 1, you would probably receive, let's say, 10%. So in theory, those numbers mean that if you rank in the top results in google.com in the USA for this keyword, you might get about 5-6 people landing on your website after searching for that. So this is basically the concept behind SEO. You want to rank for relevant keywords in search engines like Google, mainly Google, because Google is still the #1 search engine worldwide. And then people who are Googling for items, for search phrases, ideally find your website and then end up on your website and maybe fill out the form and become a lead and your sales team gets in touch with them, right? And apart from this keyword, we can enter a lot more now, right? We can enter maybe up to 10 keywords to get a first idea of what could be our keyword strategy. Offshore software development services is a good one, I believe. But you can also tell me some keywords if you have already a goal, if you have an idea what might be interesting for you guys. Here, Vietnam IT outsourcing is probably also relevant. And then SaaS, e-commerce app development. Just gonna leave out Vietnam for now because it's not gonna be very difficult to rank for Vietnam keywords if you rank for the generic terms as well. I think Harley mentioned fintech as well. Fintech is probably getting more important for you guys. And then agile, why not? Agile software development, stack, and then maybe 3 more. Web app development services, maybe something like React. And we can, of course, also add one of those keywords, something like affordable. Why not? So this is basically just a first attempt to collect some keywords that might be interesting for you guys. So this list is already pretty long. Yeah? You can see that we have already almost 3,000 lines here. And I can export this list already into Google Sheets, let's say. I can save that somewhere here. Make it accessible to you as well. Save it here, maybe under projects. So while this is downloading, we can continue with our on-site audit. Do you want me to follow this sheet, or do you have any specific questions already at this point?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you should go to the list because about website we have do nothing related to marketing. We just build website and we put on our highlight project. And when some client want to know more about us, about website, they will type in CoderPush and see what type of project we just done. And most of our client now we have is based on referrals and network of Poly. And so I think we should hear more from your experiment about what is more important to check in this list about our website.
We will definitely cover most of this anyway. Tran also had a question, I think.
About the keywords, should we be more specific around area? We based in Saigon or we based in Hanoi? And when we searching keyword about that, so should we do that as well? Specific area, not like just only country. So could you help me to explain more about?
Yeah, definitely. So those are very good questions that you had and suggestions. Thanks for that. I believe I will go through an example with you guys of how we could allocate keywords, right? So keyword research is really the first step. So let's go back maybe to the keyword list because that might be a good idea to have a look already. I'm gonna try and find this. I cannot see that on my screen here at the moment, but I'm gonna open this for you. Actually, to understand the concept of keyword research, keyword allocation is already pretty advanced SEO strategies. And from our side, from our experience at Cover Marketing, first of all, suggest to refine this list, and say we mark the keywords that are really important to us with green background, and the ones that we don't need we just dismiss for now. So let's focus on custom software development for now. Custom software development is our main keyword, and then I would ask myself, which page should be ranking for that? Which is the number one page that we should allocate this keyword to? So I can go back to Google again and just type in this keyword after the cite command and ask Google, what is the most important page on the website for this? And they return the homepage. So this would give me enough reason to allocate this keyword on the homepage. So let's say I want the homepage to rank for that. And I will also extend my keyword list. Of course, I will say custom software development Hanoi. I will also include Ho Chi Minh City because you have at least those two main hubs in Vietnam, right? We have both variations, Saigon and Ho Chi Minh City. And then we can also use Google again to expand on this keyword, because when you type in custom software development, you can see already Google suggest. This is when you just enter the word and then make a space here, and then you can see custom software development companies, cost, examples, agency. Of course, since I'm located in Australia now, it will suggest some Australia-based keywords. But for you guys, if you want to follow a content marketing approach, you could basically add those keywords as well. So custom software development cost is something that I would probably not allocate here on the homepage, but I would probably have a dedicated page. Maybe you have already somewhere a pricing page, maybe not. If not, could think about creating a page that is maybe something like this, pricing, and then give examples about how your pricing could look like, dependent on several factors. And this is actually a not so easy thing to decide if you allocate a keyword on the same page or you think and start to separate them. One approach could again be to ask Google. You just look at this keyword and see what comes up here. Let's actually switch to Vietnam because maybe it's better to, is it .vn? Not sure. So I'm still here in Australia. I need to change the geolocation. Geolocation is Vietnam. Now I'm in Vietnam here. And then I first have a look at the top results, typing in the costs or pricing keyword, and you can see already how much does custom software cost. This is an article that is more explanatory. It's not salesy. It's a blog article. But if you just type in custom software development, the results are totally different. And if you get different results for a search phrase, then it's oftentimes a good idea to separate the keyword. And going back to your question, Tran, you could have a base, let's say a raw draft of your landing page, maybe something like, I want to optimize our homepage for the following keywords. Please create a first draft. You can see that ChatGPT will implement those keywords, but it doesn't go crazy. 10, 15 years ago, there was something like keyword density, the concept of keyword density. You would have had to include the keywords at least once in every 50 words. Maybe you have 2% keyword density, but nowadays it's not like that. Maybe you just type in every paragraph, you use one of those keywords, and that's enough. It's very important to keep it readable. But this is already going into content development. SEO content development is already the next step. We are still at the very technical, on the technical level, looking at the website, trying to understand which keywords are interesting, and then we can talk about content. So maybe I should also introduce 3 different pillars of SEO. We separate SEO into 3 different categories. We have the technical SEO, which is all related to code, page speed, and maybe sitemap, robots, text files, stuff like that. And then the second pillar of SEO is on-page SEO. On the website, what's happening on the website, which is mainly content, meta titles, meta descriptions. And the third pillar is off-page SEO, backlinks or social mentions. And going back to my list here, I have already talked about quite a few things without you noticing it. For example, H1, H2 existing, but several instances of H1 heading in place. I also saw a little bit of your backlinks through this tool here. So what are backlinks? Again, backlinks are links leading from other websites to your own. So you guys have at the moment about 28 domains. That means about 28 websites that are linking to you from GitHub, Behance, Crunchbase, and so on, which is a good start, right? 28 links are all right. But if you wanted to do SEO, you could probably do a lot more strategic link building. So link building has also a lot to do with PR work, like trying to network with other people who might link to you or build relationships with bloggers out there, or with universities. If you organize training with a university and then maybe they are happy to link from the university website to your own, that would be really powerful as well. But this is already very advanced. So this is another metric I can write down. We have roughly 28 referring domains from and 354 backlinks. So one domain, one website can link several times. That's why we have many more backlinks than referring domains in this case. So I can just take a note of that as well. According to AHREFs, we've got about 28 referring domains and a total of 354 backlinks or so. So this is obviously going into the off-page SEO area. And then content is pillar number 2. And all this here is Google Analytics. And
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we need to create a blog sections to write SEO article to boost website visibility for
Could be.
specific keyword? Because I noticed that website don't have blog sections.
Well, I always recommend to have a blog, because if you think about the purpose of a blog, it can have several target groups. It can have your own team to show who is new, what are the jubilees, how is our office looking like, or how was team building. So this is more about internal information and maybe something like employer branding to make it more attractive to join your team. And there is another function, obviously, to reach potential clients. So for example, I was in touch with Harley the other day regarding a big project regarding app development. Do we create native apps or do we use, I think, Flutter or something like that? So those are questions that could be featured on your blog. And at least on one more target group you have is maybe people who are just interested in finding out more about certain coding languages. And then you establish your authority in that field because you have a lot of experience with all those languages. It's on projects where you also display your different technologies that you have been using. Let's have a look at Race Vietnam. So here is Nest.js, React.js, Flutter. You could also talk about latest hacks. You can give out a few hacks to show to other people out there that you are really the authority. You know about the latest developments, the latest changes, the latest versions. And then you can also write about that in your blog. I think this is pretty strong in terms of inbound marketing. So this is basically what we have been doing in the past 15 years. We have always written about our industries and topics and made sure that people will find us for that, because SEO is an inbound marketing strategy. So inbound marketing is actually a very strong concept. So you were mentioning that Harley and Long are very good in networking and they have a very strong culture that helps you to get referrals. But if you want to increase that, then inbound marketing complements that very well, because you will make people find your business. You will make other people who are not yet connected to your business find you and reach out to you. And the opposite is outbound marketing, where you try to sell something to people who have never heard from you, which is much more difficult, right? Apart from SEO, we have also search engine marketing like Google Ads. We have social media, so you can also complement your SEO strategy with Instagram or YouTube videos whatsoever. So ideally that goes hand in hand. For example, create a blog article about the latest React.js changes or hacks, and then you can make a reel on Instagram or make a short on YouTube and then link back to this blog article and spread the article in LinkedIn, for example, to have more visibility. And ideally, other people who write about this topic, like bloggers, can write a blog article and link to your website. So that would be very powerful. Was there a question? I think maybe. Yes.
So I would love to hear more advice about our website. Should we put photos of us? We have different team in every area, so should put on this website as well to more very friendly website, and we will, our customer, even our new employee get inside our website. I think it would really be more friendly when you put a photo, and then we can add inside alternative text for each photo. It also has the SEO keyword and searchable.
This is a very, very good point, Tron. Thanks for that. We haven't even spoken about image SEO, but if you look at this image, for example, so this is displaying the app that you have created for Race Vietnam, and the file name is Race1, right? But you could also rename this file name and say something like React.js app sports industry, for example, because then you have some keywords in there and you could potentially be found for that. And you're absolutely right. You can also add an alt text. Let's have a look if you have some alt text defined here. I don't think so, right? You have only Race1, but you could also write something like CoderPush developed React.js app, so on and so on. And then you have already a few more keywords in there. This is exactly right what you say. So images can also, by the way, have a caption. You can have the title. You can also define several other things around the image, like have a few more keywords in the context of that image. And then you will not only rank with your page higher for those keywords, you will also be found in Google Images, Google Image Search. Let's go back maybe to Google and let's say you Google for React.js app developer, and sometimes you can find videos here, but sometimes you can also find images, and then we click on images here. The way how you rank higher here is really by optimizing the images, optimizing the file names, the alt text, and so on. Exactly right. So back to our on-site sheet. Of course, you can already say alt title or alt text edit. Not yet, but potential for better rankings, something like that. What else do we have here? Maybe robots text file. This is pretty straightforward. This is nothing too crazy. So the robots text file is just giving you an idea of should there any pages be blocked, and then you have already a sitemap here because you're using WordPress. This is pretty standard. Sitemap helps Google to find your pages and posts. So this is all in place. So no wonder that is existing. No changes needed. And then here, sitemap, I just paste the link to it so I know this is already done. So in theory, I could go through all those things. Siteliner check, broken links. Siteliner check is also more of a on-page tool. It's also for free. Can help you to find out duplications. So what are duplications? It's pages that are too similar to each other. So duplications happen when you just copy content over, and ideally you have less than 10% duplicate content here. So if you have more, we need to look into that. Why do you have more duplicate content? So Siteliner found 18%. Let's have a look at this. Maybe there are some pages that are very similar. So you have one page which is iOS app development services, and this is Android. So this has almost 100%, no, sorry, 42% overlapping content. So this is something you could already work on. So this is all pretty similar because those 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, they are all probably the same. Yeah. These days, it's pretty easy to change that with the help of ChatGPT. At the same time, I have to say, Google knows nowadays that those paragraphs are most likely duplicated. But if you want to make sure to have fully optimized website, then you can just rewrite it and get this down to 5% or something. You will probably not reach less than that because you still have the menu here, which is always the same, and some other buttons which have the same content, but at least this type of content, ideally you try to make it unique. Yeah, we are actually getting pretty much into the details of SEO already, but I just try to give you an idea what you can look out for. Broken links, you don't have broken links, which is good. So we have no broken links. Then Copyscape can check your content for outside duplications. If somebody copied your website, for example, or if you have other sources that have been copying you. I don't think that this is the case, but you never know. So sometimes when we do SEO and our clients have a decrease in rankings, then oftentimes it's because the competitors copy the website. So here you have a little bit of duplication because clutch.co is probably crawling your website, but that is probably not harmful. So this is also kind of okay. I would only be a little bit more suspicious if many more results were showing up here. So what else do we have here? Duplications within the website. Yeah, a little bit. Site speed, that's an important one. I'm pretty sure that page speed is something that you also work on. So page speed is nowadays pretty important because most people are visiting to new websites via mobile devices. And then apart from PageSpeed Insights, I also use GTmetrix, for example, and Pingdom. So just to get an idea, let's maybe use Japan in this case, just to get an idea from different systems, because whatever we look at is dependent on the perspective we take. So PageSpeed Insights tells us that your homepage is having 57 points on mobile and on desktop 89. It's already pretty good. Mobile, yeah, could probably be improved. But then to get a better idea, I look at GTmetrix. You have 95% performance, which is really good. And on Pingdom, yeah, 75. So your homepage is pretty big with 1.9 megabyte. There's probably room for improvement to get it down to 1 megabyte and improve the load time to maybe ideally less than 1 second. So sometimes it's just an image, yeah, but you do have some JavaScripts that are being loaded. So if you have an expert in your team, which I believe you have, then you could further work on that down the road. So yeah, looking at the 3 results, I think there is a little bit of room for improvement, but it's not really bad. Actually pretty good already what we have. And again, you're not yet trying to rank for your homepage. Your homepage is just, it's not optimized. Yeah. If you want to rank for your homepage, if you want to rank for certain keywords with your homepage, then this would be the moment to optimize also the page speed. And in your case, it doesn't have to be optimized, because you could also argue that software development could be allocated to a different page, like a sub-page here. Let's say if you want to rank more for Android app development, you can probably start expanding on the content here, because you have basically only 50 words which are unique, and the rest is basically copied. Yeah. As a rule of thumb, if you really want to target those keywords, you could probably also run a little bit more you could go more into the location-based keywords and say, why Android app development from Vietnam? You could do that, but that is also a very strategic decision if you want to make people from the US or from other countries aware that you are from Vietnam. But I guess they would find out if they want to contact you, right? So they will see Singapore, USA. This is something so important that you should probably discuss this with your management, with your founders. Do you want to make it very transparent, or do you want to keep it more generic? It really depends on your strategy. Are you using Google Analytics or any analytics tools? Let's have a look. Yeah, you do use Google Analytics. So of course, if you have someone looking into the data, that's also really helpful to just get an idea of what are your best performing pages, where do you have potential. And as I've mentioned before, Search Console can give you also a lot of insights. So I think in this case, I'm just going to hop on our cover marketing website just to give you a little bit of an idea here how you use this. Are you using Google Search Console as well?
Yes, highly use this, because like 3 months ago when you search CoderPush, it no appears our websites. It only appears push in row high. So highly have to do in Google Search Console.
You can see already that there's an option here. Let's say if you write a new article and you want to get it indexed there, you can just submit, let's say, this new URL, and then you type it in here and then hit enter, and then it will ask you to submit the page, just in case you have pages that are not in Google. So sometimes I also check if pages are in Google. I type in cache, and this doesn't seem to be in Google. I don't know why. Let's see. Yeah, page, for example, doesn't seem to be in Google. No idea why. Maybe it's too thin, or you have not enough links going there, or the content is too similar. But this page also doesn't have to be in Google. I think the most important pages for you guys would be those here: iOS development, Android, front end, and so on. All those solution keywords. I think this is almost 1 hour, but I'm happy to answer more questions. If you have a competitor, we can also look into this a little bit more, because as of now, we don't have too much. Yeah, we have 4 keywords that are being displayed. So it's mainly your brand in Vietnam. We can also have a look at Germany. You have 1 keyword, CoderRush. That's certainly not relevant. And maybe for other search engines in the US, for example, you don't have a keyword yet. I can give you an example maybe of a website that is ranking higher. Let's say custom software development here in Australia. What do I find? Soda Digital. And then we can analyze that one and see how they are doing and get some inspiration, right? So they have 100 keywords in the US. They have, of course, most in Australia. And with help of this kind of software, we can get inspiration for other keywords, custom software development. So similar to Google Ads, it gives us a volume. Roughly 200 people per month are searching for this in Australia in this case, and they are on position number 2, which is theoretically amounting to 29 people visiting their website through this keyword. This is how you need to read that. So once you start to get more rankings, you can also do more in-depth analysis using this kind of tool, and then of course analyze a lot of competitors to get an idea of how do they optimize their website. As you can see, there are many interesting keywords: custom software development services, company, basically all the things that we have seen before in the Google Suggest, and then they also have the location-based keywords and all those. This is something you guys can do later on to refine your strategy. Yes, Tran, you have a question.
Yeah, just a quick question. So if we improve our website, those things gonna work. So what's your advice? Should we like running ad after on social media, on other website? Should we do that? because I know Harley not currently he not focused on that actually, and he not want to expand out, but I think he will. But do you think that we should add for that for our website or social media related?
That's a good question. I think I would probably rather think about the process first. Like, it's my content creation process. For example, you write a new article, very keyword focused. So I would be very strategic about it. I would think about, okay, what's your goals for 2025? What is your ideal customer? How do I reach them? Where are they looking for? Are they more active on LinkedIn, or are they more active searching on Google, or are they really on Instagram, for example? And then if you have answers to this question, you can also allocate your activities better, because you are more B2B, right? Maybe LinkedIn is an option. I don't know. It's basically a business development and lead generation question. If you think that you can acquire new leads through those platforms, then of course you can do that. But I wouldn't go and advertise every blog article necessarily on social media. Like, from our experience, when we see that the Instagram post is going well, or not viral, but let's say gets more likes and shares, then this is the moment where we boost and try to get more traction. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't work at all. So it's sometimes a little bit random, but if you start monitoring the activities and see which works better of the activities, then you can also focus more on what works. But an argument for advertising on social media would be if you really want to get more talent into the team, right? Because where are other talents? Maybe they are on Instagram or even TikTok, and then it might be worthwhile to be there as well, to be a little bit present there. Maybe talk about how did some of your talents get into coding? What was their journey? Make that a little bit more transparent. Let them talk about how they were starting with coding school and then getting their hands dirty with coding and ending up with CoderPush. So that's a very interesting journey, I would say. So if you have scenarios in mind, if you are strategic about your content, if you know what you want to achieve, let's say one content is to get more talent, then maybe I would think about where do I spread this content. If you really want to try and create leads for big cases, like we help this business with this app to go from $2 million to 10 million turnover a year. This is a case study that will probably attract other companies that want to do business with you.
I do think so, because our target audience is like B2B. They don't show up much in social media. So I think a lot when we think about marketing strategies to the B2B target audience. For now, I don't think that running ads on social media is quite suitable for that target audience. But I think marketing with the B2B audience is like very different with B2C. So I have experience in marketing in B2C. We're running ads from every platform. It's good for the previous time, but now we have like specific strategies, including running B2C. So B2B, I'm not sure that. I think I will investigate more about our ICPs, and we had to figure it out. They looking information, or they looking for service like LinkedIn or something, and our website is one channel to attract them to us. And I have a question. Do you have a recommendation for immediate step or phase we can take into improve our website right now? Like, can you highlight 5 or 7 steps we can do now to improve our website when we have internal team?
Yeah, I think I would make that dependent on your goals, like for 2025. If you want to be more present for certain products or certain services, I would definitely extend your landing page for that. Like, do a thorough keyword analysis, because this is for me always the starting point. Look at the keywords and also hashtags in LinkedIn and Instagram. So just try to get an idea, what are people actually looking for? What are their problems? And then design the content, not only written content, but maybe even videos or other material to get more traction. So when I think about this project that I'm talking with Harley about, is so complicated, and sometimes it helps to break that down. What are the first steps in app development in a certain industry? What questions do I need to answer? It's always good to look at the questions that people might want to have answers to, and then try to design the customer journey that way that they always find you. I would reverse engineer the content dependent on your goals. And that goes also for the SEO or search engine marketing campaigns. I would always try and go from the ideal customer and think about where are they located, where are they searching, what platforms are they using, what questions do they have, and then prioritize. Of course, you don't want to necessarily rank for 100 different keywords, but maybe you have 5 that are outstanding, and then you start with redesigning your landing pages for those key phrases. From my experience, online marketing has a lot to do with analyzing the status quo month over month. Let's say you have a look into Google Analytics and those tools that I was showing to you at the end of a month. You look at the development, and then maybe you need to adjust your strategy a little bit. For example, in December, you were trying to rank for custom software development Vietnam better, but then you realize that your iOS app development page is ranking much higher and you got already leads through that. Then I would rather go into this topic a little bit more and try to expand on that keyword a little bit more. So it's a very dynamic strategy usually. Of course, you can have a goal to rank for 5 or 10 keywords by the end of next year, but I would still keep a little bit of flexibility. But I can think about it. I can think about more practical steps for you that you might want to implement. Something that's very obvious to me. But in order to really come up with a more strategic campaign, I think I would need much more insights, like even in your Google Analytics, and maybe have a chat with your sales team, talk about frequently asked questions. What are the pressing points? What are the unique selling propositions? So thinking about your marketing and your strategic positioning is also very important in this context. Why should anybody book with you instead of go with a different company? No matter if it's in Vietnam or in the Philippines or in the US, what is it really that makes you special? And this is what I would also communicate very often, because you are visible for those aspects. Most companies are not visible because they don't think enough about their strategic positioning, and then they need to compete on price. I hope that answered a little bit of your question.
Thank you, John. I understand everything you said. You think how long from the day we start audit our website until the day we can launch a first campaign to be leads? What do you think? I just want to estimate about time when we have like internal sections to define our marketing strategies, brand positioning in 2025, until we will maybe we have chance to work with each other, and maybe the first step is audit our website, and then to the step you mentioned before. So I just wonder time estimate about for the whole project.
When it comes to time projections, especially when you talk about SEO, it's unfortunately very difficult to assess if it's going to take 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. From our experience, if you start really working on your SEO, let's say you have a time frame of 3 months where you work on the content and Google will see the changes, and then you slowly get up in rankings. And then maybe months 4, 5, 6, you get already some more traction. You can see the numbers going up in Google Analytics, and you get more leads, you get more inquiries, and then you can refine it. Maybe months 7 to 12, where you really build a lot of backlinks, where you can see already, I've got 5 or 10 pages that are ranking already better than before, and then you build links to them, and then it takes a while for Google to find that as well, and then you get better rankings, you get better traffic. So depending on the industry, it takes definitely some months up to 2 years to see the effects. This is also why I usually, when a SEO campaign for clients, I recommend a combination of measurements, like do your content strategy, but also advertise on Google Ads, because Google Ads is usually the more commercial platform than Instagram, for example. Instagram can work for fashion brands and maybe travel, but if it's a B2B scenario, I think the hard leads are more coming through Google Ads or maybe even LinkedIn. But to be honest, I have no experience with LinkedIn ads.
Yeah.
So what we see is a combination of Google Ads and SEO can help you to get faster results, faster leads, and then they complement each other. For example, if somebody types in, let's say, custom software development Vietnam in the US and they find your Google ad, and then next day they type in again the same keyword and then they find you in the organic search results, this is where they have the touch points. Maybe you need a few touch points before the brand sticks with you. So this is true in every offline advertising. You need 5 to 7 touch points before you recognize a brand. And that's the same for online marketing. I would try to model the ideal customer journey and then try to have accordingly the touch points. Maybe in your case, it's something like 3 or 4 touch points through Google Ads and organic SEO, and the rest is maybe Instagram and YouTube or something. So there is, in theory, an ideal customer journey for every business. And ideal means it increases the probability of getting a conversion. So let's say for the travel business, found out that the combination is usually 2 times SEO, 1 times Google Ads. So 3 touch points and then we get an inquiry. This is why we allocate the budget accordingly. 60-70% Google SEO and the rest Google Ads. And this is what you can also try to analyze with your clients if you have enough numbers, and then you can see, okay, our mix is somehow like that. But yeah, again, back to the time frame, SEO is unfortunately a long-term investment. If you rank for keywords, then long-term it is the cheapest channel, definitely. Because Google Ads, you know already, you need clicks. And if we go back to the Google Ads, you can see the click price here. It's actually pretty expensive.
Yeah, too expensive.
Like this is 3,500 pesos per click, right? So just full stack developers is about 70 to 80 US dollars per click. That is really expensive. Or this one, e-commerce app development, 1,700 is about $35 per click. Oh, this is even more expensive, 35,000. Offshore development. So I think it's much interesting to rank organically instead of advertising in Google Ads.
Okay, I think we ran out of time. Any questions from Hannah and Bun?
Yeah, I learned a lot of things today. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you so
very
much.
welcome. It's a pleasure. I'm happy to answer questions if you have any, and looking forward to more chats with you guys. Hannah, we are also in touch regarding some projects. I hope we have our call today, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
I hope I was able to make you a little bit more curious about SEO, and it's definitely very worthwhile to know about some SEO methods and strategies. And this is just a very basic introduction into this, but maybe you can get some inspiration from that and then implement it in your daily approach to improving your business. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
see you
Thank you,
soon.
guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.